All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the April edition of our Naked Chat brought to you by the Soul Clinic. Thank you for joining those that are joining us live and those that will be watching the replay. I am Fumi Ayowole, and I am happy to have you here, whether it is live or replay. It's really great to be with you in this month. So much has happened in my personal life, but I mean, in the world at large, we are dealing with a number of irregularities. We're dealing with uh, uh, the COVID-19, of course, its effects on businesses, on families, on people, on children, on schooling, on education in general, healthcare, how people are doing things and are trying to go back to normal. But obviously, there is no more. I mean, normal is now a thing of the past. So there's so much everybody's dealing with. We're also dealing with racial inequality, social unrest, the fact that injustice, we hear the stories and we see the videos of so many injustices happening in our world. And all these things are enough to cause a dent in your soul. It's not something that anybody that is full-blooded, anybody that is normal would see and think is okay. It will cause you to question what's happening. It will cause you to question, where is the value for human life? Where is the value for your fellow person, another human being? And so, there's just so much going on in our world today, but we must keep persevering. We cannot afford to give up. And that is one of the reasons why we are here to learn the art of soul care. So thank you for joining me here today. Um, I have a couple of questions that registered participants had sent ahead, questions about soul care, some personal questions that they had about things that they were going through in their own lives, and I promise to get to it. Um, when I think about the art of soul care, I cannot help but redefine and give you the context again about your soul, the fact that you have a soul, you are a spirit, and you live in a body, the fact that you are made up of so many different parts, and it's not just about the physical, what we see. Your soul is made up of your mind, subconscious and subconscious, your will, the art of decision making, and your emotions, what people are so very familiar with, including, being happy or sad, being joyful, being excited, and so on and so forth. Um, and I would say that your emotions are the most prominent. That's the word. Your emotions are the most prominent that people recognize when they think about the soul. And there's nothing wrong with that, because your soul sort of receives direction, or is prompted strongly, most strongly, by how you feel. So your body can be affected by how you feel. If you feel sad or lonely, you can see symptoms of these things. Like, it can translate into your body. You can develop physical symptoms, temperature, headache, body pains, all those things. Your body can be regulated by your emotions, and that's the truth. So that's why your emotions are like the strongest lead when we think about your soul. But there are other parts of your soul for sure, including your mind. Your mind is that rational place, but not only is it that rational place, it also has the back end, which is your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is that part that wants to regulate how you think, wants to keep things in a normal equilibrium. Your subconscious mind is the one that will tell you, subconsciously, of course, it will tell you, oh, this is the way we do things. Your subconscious mind will tell you, when you wake up, this is the first thing you get to. When you are trying to, let's say, brush your teeth, you start from the back rather than from the front. Your subconscious mind is the one that teaches you or that records how you learned how to drive, and then subconsciously you just execute because you've already learned it, and now it's as easy as ABC, or it is automatic. So you have your subconscious mind, and it's not something to ignore, because your subconscious mind can also be programmed to work for you. But if you let it loose, it's going to control your life. I'm going to explain a bit further. So if in your subconscious mind, you have thoughts of inadequacy, you have thoughts of not being enough, and you let it fester, your subconscious mind will control what you now think in your conscious, and it will affect your decisions. It will affect the things you say. It will affect the way you behave. If your subconscious mind is laden with judgmental thoughts and, oh, I am not enough, I will never be good enough, on the subconscious level, it will always rise to the conscious level and then start to control your decisions, your actions, your thoughts, your behavior, the things you say. And it's almost like a vicious cycle that, oh, in your subconscious mind, you're saying, you see, I was never good enough. But it's because you have created that self-fulfilling prophecy. Your subconscious mind affects your conscious mind. Your conscious mind comes out into the open, and then you behave in such a way that you will now be telling yourself, you see, I was never even good enough. But if you are able to break the cycle, that is, learn to inject thoughts, and it's not something that is done, or it's not something that will happen so immediately. It's not something that will be like that and immediately you are free from judgmental thoughts, or you are free from self-criticism or anything you're trying to solve from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind. But it is something that you need to be intentional about. That is, you need to be conscious. I mean, I'm saying conscious a lot, whether conscious or subconscious, but the point is you have to be intentional about the things that you focus on, because those are the things that feed both your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. I hope I haven't lost you, Victory or Sidat. I haven't lost you guys here. Anyway, the reason why we went into the mind is because I was breaking down the elements of the soul, as well as the parts of the mind, which is the conscious and subconscious mind. And I was speaking about how powerful our thoughts are, even as powerful enough to affect our emotions. And I also explained that our emotions also have the power to affect our body, the physical body that we see and touch and hear. So you can be feeling down and depressed, and it will translate to physical symptoms. We have to be very careful about that. And then we all know about the will, about the fact that it is how you make decisions. If your will is strong enough, you can decide that I will, let's say, wake up every day at 5 a.m. and I will at 5 a.m. go for a jog. If you have a strong will that has been strengthened and has been trained over time, you will find that you may be able to follow through with your decision. But sometimes our wills, and I'm speaking in general now, are not as strong as we think, because we haven't pumped enough fuel, enough juice, enough motivation to keep it going, so that when that 5 o'clock alarm rings, you're able to say, this is a decision I made for whatever reason. Let's say you're jogging at 5 o'clock was because you want to use that opportunity to pray. I'm just using this as an example. Or you want to use your 5 a.m. jog to kickstart your day. Or you want to use your 5 a.m. jog to get you into better health and fitness. Whatever your reason was, if it was strong enough, and it is something that you had made up your mind based on that strong enough reason or foundation, then you will stand up when your 5 a.m. alarm wakes you up, regardless of if it's cold, or regardless of if you had a late night, or regardless of if the duvet and the cover sheets are so comfortable, whatever it is, your will will be strong enough to control your actions in this regard. So there's so many ways you can strengthen your will. One of the major ways I say is you always have to go back to the why of that decision that you made. What is at the foundation or the root of that decision? Why are you, for example, why are you trying to get into better health? Are you trying to stay healthy, or stay fit so that you can brag about the fact that you are a yummy mommy? Or are you trying to be healthy so that you can do it for your children and for your children's children, so that you will be healthy enough to train them to maybe pass down values or something? Are you doing it so that you can look good on the cover of a magazine? As an example, I mean, your why always makes a difference. And I know that I've even gone on a tangent here, but I know that somebody that's listening to me will get this, right? This is for somebody for sure. Your will is strengthened by the strength or the intensity of your why. Okay, so we've talked about your mind, your emotions, and your will as a part of your soul. And this is because we are discussing the art of soul care. Okay, now I want to quickly go into a few questions that I received today. Well, I received when participants were registering. Sorry, hold on, I'm looking at another screen. Participants were registering for this April Naked Chats. The first one is, are soul care routines going to be demanding? No, they are not, but you have to be intentional about them and make them routines. So these soul care routines that I am about to either teach you or remind you, because it's likely that you know them and you have done them before, or you don't know them, or you're new to them, whatever the case may be, these routines, which is the important word here, they have to be routines. They can't be the things that you do once every 2 weeks. No, they can't be things that you do start maybe in January, maybe a New Year's resolution, and then you leave out later on and you forget down the road. It's the same way when you are, I'm sure I've given this example before, but when you go to a doctor's office or even a dentist, let's take a dentist, and he says, you need to floss regularly, or you need to brush your teeth morning and night. When we are teaching our children, we don't say floss on Tuesday, forget about it for 2 days, and go back to flossing on Thursday. No, we say you floss morning and night, every morning and night, or you brush your teeth twice a day, every day. That is the only way you can see results. It's the same way you go to the gym or you create a workout routine, and you can't do it one day, leave it the next day, and then you think that you're going to all of a sudden have a six-pack. It's not possible. It's about consistency. It's about putting in your best for your own soul so that you can see the results over time. And you will not see the results immediately. I promise you. It's the same way you cannot go jogging for 2 weeks and think that immediately all the weight will drop and your tummy will drop down 6 sizes. It's not possible, okay? So these routines are so important and they are effective when they are routines. And a good routine is something that you do every day. There are some things, of course, maybe due to time, you may not be able to do every day, but you should be able to do them once a week. So at the very most, any of these activities, you should do them once a week. The very first soul care routine that I'm going to introduce to you, and for some people you even know about it, is rest. Yes, it is as easy peasy as rest. But you see, the quality of your rest, I feel like I sat on my glasses and the angle is a bit funny, and I keep seeing it because I'm looking at myself in this presentation. So It's weird and distracting. Anyway, the important thing about rest is the quality of rest that you get. If you say to yourself that you are resting, are you really resting from devices? Are you really resting from distractions? Are you really resting from discussions that may take away your peace? So, rest is on a daily basis. It's not just when you sleep. That is when you lay your head down and you sleep and you're out. What kind of rest are you experiencing, or what quality of rest are you experiencing even in the middle of your day? Do you take breaks, real breaks from, let's say, your computer, real breaks from even your children, real breaks from social media, real breaks during the day? How are you able to incorporate rest? That is intentional breaks from what is your normal. That is one major thing in terms of soul care routines. How do you incorporate rest, that is intentional breaks from what is your normal baseline? So if your normal day includes hanging out with the kids, cooking, doing some office work, working on your computer, building a website, creating content, whatever, I'm just giving different examples. Whatever is your regular activity each day, do you insert 2 minutes, 3 minutes breaks from those things? So if my regular, yes, we're talking about soul care routines, and the number one is rest. And I said it's different from sleep. So I'm giving an example. If my regular routine from 9 to 5 is being on this computer, it is inevitable that my eyes, right? My eyes will be, sorry, I keep doing this, but don't worry. My eyes will be tasked. My eyes will be heavy, burdened by, working on the computer. And not just my eyes, as in my physical eyes, but my mind. There's such a thing as screen fatigue, right? So I must insert minutes in between my day, within the pockets, as in pockets of rest, pockets of intentional breaks within that 9 to 5 period, where I am not looking at any screen, whether it is a laptop screen or a phone screen or a TV screen, whatever. You must be intentional about inserting pockets of rest from whatever is your normal baseline activity every day. Okay, so maybe you need to set alarms and say, okay, at 10:15, I will take a break. I will close my eyes for 2 minutes, or I will walk around the house physically without looking at any screen, or I will take a 10-minute walk. Yeah, those pockets of intentional breaks are extremely important. Let's say someone that is a stay-at-home mom, where her life sort of revolves around the children every day, whether she's helping them with schoolwork, she's cooking for them, she's bathing them, she's feeding them, all that. Her life sort of her baseline activities are all around the children. She must insert pockets of rest, intentional breaks from them. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's important for you to take breaks away from even the children. Super, super duper important. I'm not even going to dwell on that. So just as an example, if maybe someone else, let me use somebody who is a security operative, and his baseline activity for a number of hours or a stretch of hours is to stand and be at attention, he definitely needs breaks, right? These breaks within your soul care routines, it will help both your body and your soul. You can't deny the benefits of taking those breaks. It gives you the opportunity to refresh. It gives you an opportunity to start again. So when you come back from, let's say you took a break, you took a walk away from your kids. When you come back, you look at them with fresh eyes. It's so important. So I've dwelt enough around this routine of rest. The other routine I would like to talk about is meditation. Meditation. Meditation is one of the things that you cannot afford to not do. Meditation helps you to restart your mind. And meditation doesn't have to be spooky. It doesn't mean that you are chanting or repeating some statements. Meditation just means focusing on something for a period of time and being able to command your mind to stay focused on that thing, whatever it is. As an example, you can have a meditation practice where even with your eyes open, you are focusing on your breath. Even with your eyes open, you can do it while in a meeting. You can do it while, interacting with people, but you can focus on your breath for, let's say, a 2-minute period. Or that's a kind of meditation, breath meditation. Or you can focus on a thought. You can focus on a scripture. You can focus on, there's a particular thing that I read on Facebook, on Instagram yesterday, and which was about the fact that my future needs me even more than my past. I mean, my past, we're done with the past. It's my future that needs me. And I meditated on that. I thought about what I had in mind for the future. I ripped it apart, I gave it branches as I was meditating, and I only did this for 2 minutes, but it impacted me and pushed me forward yesterday evening to do other things, to prepare for this naked chat, right? And to how did I put it? To not be discouraged. I just took that sentence about the fact that my future needed me and I meditated on it for 2 minutes. I focused on it. Meditation is that opportunity you get to take something, whatever it is, whether it's your breath, whether it is something, a visual cue, maybe you look at, and I wouldn't say your phone, but you look at something and you're able to control and command your mind to focus on that thing, a statement, a mantra, a scripture, something that is important. You must make time to meditate every day. You must make time to meditate every day. All these soul care routines that I'm speaking about right now, they must be done daily. You must make time to meditate daily. Another soul care routine that I will mention, and I am very sure that you are familiar with this. So I doubt there's anything that I will say that will even be new to you. It may just be the how I say it or how you apply it to your own life, right? So another soul care routine that you must not play with is journaling. You can journal pen to paper, or you can journal mouth to phone, or you can journal by painting your thoughts out. There are so many ways of journaling, but it's so important for you to make a practice, a daily practice of journaling. It is just an opportunity for you to pour out your thoughts. You can do this within a time period. Hi, Tomto, thank you for joining us. And Favor also, thank you for joining us. I just didn't want to be too distracted along the way. I was speaking about journaling as the third soul care routine. And this is obviously, it's part of what I was going to say, but it is in reaction to a question that I received from participants that said, are soul care routines going to be demanding? And I was explaining that they are not demanding. The only important thing or factor is that they are done daily. It's the same way you must brush your teeth twice a day, daily, for a consistent period of time to see results. It's not going to be magical, even if the task or the action itself is as simple, is so simple, but the power lies in your consistency. So we spoke about rest, I would really encourage you to catch the replay. We spoke about meditation and we spoke about journaling, or we are in the middle of journaling. So I was saying that journaling can be done whether you can either journal by speaking out, recording it into your phone. You can journal with a pen, traditional pen and paper. The replay will be on our YouTube channel. The Soul Clinic Online is on YouTube. The replay will be on YouTube later in the week, most of the time. So what I do is take the recording and then load it up to YouTube. So not to worry, you'll be able to catch the replay. Right. So we were speaking about journaling. You shouldn't think about journaling as this hard, demanding thing. And you do not have to just sit down and try and force yourself to journal for 30 minutes of your day. You can journal um, in as little as 5 minutes every day. The key is consistency, being able to day in, day out, write your thoughts, pour out your thoughts on paper, or, as I said, in a recorded cloud if you want. But the point is, you're pouring out your thoughts, the way you think, things that were significant about your day, anything that you experienced, a conversation that was important, that kind of thing. And it's not like you're diarizing, so you're not saying everything about your day, but you're picking things that were significant to you. Maybe in some way they affected the way they affected your emotions, or they affected the perspective with which you saw something, or they reminded you of an experience. Take 5 minutes every day. The key is every day to journal your thoughts. This is so, so, so important. The next routine for soul care, that is the next routine within the soul care routines, would be reach out. That is number 4, reach out. And I want to qualify reach out in such a way that you understand that I'm saying reach out qualitatively. Reach out. We're so connected now in the world. You're here on Zoom. I'm millions of miles away. So are you. We can talk on WhatsApp. People can talk on Instagram, and so on and so forth. But are you making deep connections? Reach out to make deep connections, and it must be done every day. So maybe it will be with one particular person every day, or it will be to a person and different people every day. But let your reaching out be an in-depth conversation. Not just, oh, hello, how are you? I'm fine, I'm good. Did you hear about this? Da, 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 da. Surface level or gossip, or even logistics or planning. Let's say you work with the person, or the person is in your family and you're planning a wedding, or those are all surface conversations. Or even between husband and wife, where you can be talking about the children and school fees and what somebody said. All those are surface conversations. They are not deep connections. Every day you should reach out to somebody and have that person, and connect with a person on a deeper level, being able to be vulnerable and naked with a person once every day. We were made for connection. We were made for interaction, not just interaction, but deep interactions. Reaching out is a fundamental part of your soul care routine. Not only are you forming that connection, but you are allowing yourself to be connected with, so that the other person that is on the other end of the line, can feel that you care, or can tell, can see that you care about them. So I am qualifying this reach out. So not surface conversations, not logistical things, not just hello, hi. Ensure that in your reaching out, even with just one person per day, you are making deep connections. You are being honest and vulnerable with one person, and it could be the exact same person every day for a long time: a best friend, a confidant, a mentor, a coach, a therapist, whatever. But as long as you are making a deep connection with somebody every single day. I'm going to answer a number of questions here, and they are deep. The very first question, or I should say the second question that I'm answering now, is how do I overcome heartbreak from a husband who abandoned me with 2 kids? And Victory, I'm really glad that you are writing, and giving us the points. It's very likely that you will be able to pull out more soul care routines from the answers that I give to each of these questions that we will talk about. So thank you. You're doing such a great job of being a scribe. How do I overcome heartbreak from a husband who abandoned me with 2 kids? There are a number of issues here. One, you feel abandoned. He has left. And you have 2 children. So from my understanding, you are now a mom of 2 with no husband for that emotional support between a woman and a man, that is a husband and a wife. And the children also do not have a father or a father figure for their kids. So it means that you are not just heartbroken, that is, as a wife or as somebody who has experienced a romantic rejection. You are also left alone with the burden of taking care of 2 children. And it follows up with the next question that you said: how do I overcome worries from financial inadequacies? Because, of course, it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 people, in most cases, to put resources and funds together to take care of children. You are now left alone. So that same person gave or asked 2 questions. The first thing I would say is that there is no hard and fast rule as to the time you will get over the heartbreak of this abandonment. There is no period we will say that, oh, you will stop feeling so heartbroken in 3 months or in 6 months or in 6 years. So I want you to know that the heartbreak that you are feeling is natural, is expected, and you are not alone. That's number 1 for you to know. Number 2, you would need to go back to the drawing board of what you have understood yourself to be. Where does your identity lie? If it was tied to being a wife to that husband or being a mom to those kids, then your identity or your foundation will be shaken. And it may be causing part of the things that, or it may be causing or contributing to the feeling of heartbreak. So identity is very, very important, and it's something that you need to build from the ground up. The answers I'm giving you right now, you may not be able to implement them immediately. You would definitely need the help of someone else to walk you through. But I'm just giving steps that we would be undertaking if you were working with me, as an example, as your coach or your therapist. So we will be discussing identity, your identity. In so many ways, we'll be breaking down what you think about yourself. We'll be breaking down things you've experienced in your childhood, in your teenage years, in your adult life. We'll be discussing your view and views or perspectives about the world. We'll be discussing your views and perspective of men. We'll be discussing your views and perspectives of marriage. There's so many things that we are going to break down if we were working together. In addition, we will talk about where you are right now, financially speaking, the way you think about your children, if, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but the perspective with which you view them, whether as burdens or or them being still part of your life, and how you treat them currently versus how you treated them when your husband was still around. So much more to break down. We would be discussing your family members. We would be discussing, situations around your in-laws, if there are any current relationships, how they treat you right now, if you are still interacting with them, and even your own immediate family. What level of support are you receiving from your immediate family and from your in-laws? So that's a major, I mean, exactly. Thank you. Whoa. I love your scribing abilities, Victory. Thank you so much. And then I wouldn't say lastly, but we would need to also examine your thoughts on the future, where you think or where you see yourself within 3 months, within 1 year, within 5 years, what you envision about the future now that, quote unquote, you are a single mom. Because I mean, I'm looking at this question and I'm thinking to myself, if you say he has abandoned you, then most likely you may be separated or going through the process of divorce. So we will talk and discuss we'll discuss about your vision for the future, where you are, where you envision yourself being now. You will not be able to overcome heartbreak in a split second. You can't just snap your fingers and be fine and be well and be happy and not have any pain in your heart. It's impossible. So there's so much to talk about, but I would really encourage you, even by yourself, I would encourage you to dig deeper into who you think you are now. That identity thing is so important. It will serve as the foundation for anything you do going forward. I would encourage you to even do a self-assessment as to where you are now, your kids, your family, your in-laws, the support you're receiving or not receiving. I would also, as part of your self-assessment, I would also encourage you to do or to take a few surveys. You know how, or let me give some examples. There's the Myers-Briggs personality assessment. There's the Enneagram. There's the DISC assessment, just to understand yourself better. And it's very likely that you may have changed or evolved from when you just got married to now, or you may have changed and evolved from, when you became an adult, let's say years and years ago, to how you are now. You will learn a few lessons from that self-assessment, because self-knowledge leads to self-awareness, and self-awareness helps you to regulate your emotions. It really does help you to regulate your emotions. Okay, another question is, how do I manage stress? This question, how do I manage stress? I mean, I will not give you a Google answer. I will not tell you, eat and exercise, and that will help you with your stress levels. They will, but you also need to watch your self-talk, even when you are experiencing, or even when you are in a stressful situation. I currently am in a stressful situation. On Mondays, from Mondays to Fridays, I am homeschooling, working on the soul clinic for a long period of time. It is very stressful, but I have to be intentional about my self-talk. Even though I know and I recognize that this situation is stressful, I must speak to myself what I want, or yes, I must speak into myself what I want to think. do I dwell on the stress, or do I dwell on what needs to be done? Do I dwell on the attitude I must adopt and continue um, to and how I want to not just be perceived by the outside world, but the internal environment of my mind? Do I want to stay happy? My self-talk will affect how I feel, how I approach the task, whether or not I shout on my kids, or whether I'm able to do a particular project properly, write the right things, send the right emails, not make mistakes. It's all about the self-talk while I'm within that stressful situation. So in answer to how do you manage stress, you should do the recommended things. That is, eat well, rest well, exercise, prioritize. Even if you have a to-do list, you should be able to prioritize your most viable product. As an example, if I have a billion things to do in my day, you can actually write that as number 2, Victory. Prioritize your most viable product. Even when I have 1,000,000,001 things to do, I must circle out 1 to 2 things that I will say, if these 2 things are done in my day, I can go to bed. Even though I am doing 13 things, if these 2 things are done in my day, I can go to bed. So when you prioritize your most viable product, or your most, there's another word for it, but I know it as your most viable product, meaning the thing or the activity or the task that will affect every other part of your day, that will be like the leverage that will make every other thing work. When you prioritize those things every day, you find that you are able to feel less stressed, really. And then the other thing is avoid time wasters, because one of the major things that increases our stress is when we feel like there's so much to do and so little time. But there are a couple of things that you get into, and this is no slight on TV, social media, just being on your phone and browsing through 1,000,001 things, the internet, and you get stuck and sucked in. And before you know it, minutes have passed, even hours have passed. But the things that were important, your most viable products, were not they were not done. And then the pressure increases even more, because you think, I wasted all my time browsing on the internet and I didn't get what was important, what I had identified. I did not get it done that day. And so you are carrying it over to the next day and there's still little time. So you definitely have to avoid time wasters. So those are my quick thoughts on managing stress. Another question. Are there more easy to apply routines for soul care? Are there more easy to apply routines for soul care? I have spoken about a couple of soul care routines, such as reaching out, meditation, rest, and journaling. These things, truth be told, they are easy to apply. You have to just make that personal decision that I will be consistent with these things every single day. And they will be part of my own most valuable products, because they help to care for my soul so that I can be able to do things for other people. So it's extremely important for you to have the mindset that soul care routines are for you. Soul care routines recharge you. These things give you the power to go about your daily life and be productive. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, the answer to that is every one of these soul care routines that I have spoken about, they are easy to apply. The last question here is how to break the cycle of denial towards mental health issues. And I know that it's as a result of a discussion, a private discussion I had with one of us that are here today, and we'll continue that discussion. But the truth is that our culture, that is the African culture, prides itself, whether man or woman, on being strong. And strong is defined within the subcultures in Africa as not needing any help, being able to be a pillar of strength to other people, not needing to be vulnerable to someone else or show any form of weakness or show that you yourself are going through a hard time. So breaking that cycle of denial towards mental health issues has to be an individual step-by-step thing with whatever it is that you're doing in your own little corner. And that can be as little as a social media post, or it can be as little as reaching out to a person and saying, hi, how are you really doing? What's going on in your life? How can I be of help? Is there anything you want to talk about? Can I be there for you in some way? What's going on? If you make a practice of reaching out to people and forming those deep connections, you can only solve what is within your immediate, the word is locus of control. You may not be able to solve the entire Africa's problem, right? But you can do what you can from where you are. So, and that's what we're doing. I mean, that's what a lot of coaches, mindset coaches, therapists, mental health practitioners, psychiatrists, that is what people are doing with their platforms, with their, the what's the word? The people that they can influence, speaking up about the mental health struggles that people go through and how it is not anything to be ashamed of. It is okay. I mean, I know you've heard this, but it is okay not to be okay, especially in the times that we are in now. At the beginning, we talked about everything that is being, or not everything, but we gave some highlights as to what the world is facing right now. And we said that it is more than enough to make a dent in your soul. Any warm-blooded person will be affected by the news of this, the crash, the killings, the shootings, the accidents, the deaths. It is inevitable that it will affect even someone that, even if you do not have a relative, or you do not have somebody that was within, let's say, a car crash, or among people that died in a natural disaster, or among people that died as a result of COVID-19. Just the news of it is enough to affect your soul. So everybody is in need of deep connections. Everyone is in need of not only just deep connections, but space to be vulnerable, and that's what coaching and therapy does for us all. So we make a difference from where we are. We do the little that we can from within our own circle of influence, and as much as we can, we continue to expand that circle over and over again. I believe I have treated all the questions that I received ahead of time. For us that are inside the Zoom room right now, please talk to me. Do you have any questions? I hope I didn't lose you with anything that I said. I'm checking my phone because I want to see if there are any questions on Facebook. I want to see if there are any questions or comments on Facebook. I want to see if there are any questions on. Yeah, that was like feedback of me. Okay, it doesn't look like. So, guys, do we have any live questions? Anything that you would like to ask about the art of soul care? Or is there anything that wasn't clear in my explanation? Okay. I don't see any I don't see any new questions here. Thank you very much, Victory. And thank you to all of us that have joined in live. Um, Thank you to all those that will watch the replay. And if you have any questions for me, please go ahead and send an email to thesoulclinic101@gmail.com or TFA at thefumiayowale.com. I'm very open to your questions. Um, and just to announce that, as some of you may know, we're working towards the building of the virtual soul clinic. It's a tech platform. It will give the opportunity to everybody all over the world to have access to coaching, or at least a listening ear for 15 minutes at a time. And so we are fundraising. So if you would like to contribute in terms of funds, we would appreciate that. We are also looking for volunteers in different departments, or or teams: research, social media, marketing, um, project management, admin, coaches, because we need a certain amount. We actually need about 150 coaches, and currently we're at 70. But we will still kick off, with the platform. It's just that the more coaches we have, the more coaches will be on call for people as people try to book to speak to somebody for free. So we are looking for donations of time, donations of money, donations of your ideas, and support in any way possible, even of your social media platform, spreading the word. So we would really appreciate your time and efforts in this regard. Please feel free to reach out to me by email, or on the website, that is thefumiayowale.com. Thank you so much. I don't think that there are any questions that I haven't answered. Thank you very much, Saidat. God bless you too. Thank you all so much for the opportunity to do. Oh my God. Yemisi is just joining. I'm so sorry. Like, we did a whole 1 hour. Um, I'm so sorry, but please feel free to catch the replay. It will be up by the end, no, before the end of this week. In fact, most likely on Tuesday, the replay will be on YouTube. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate you guys for joining today. It's been a pleasure talking to everybody, although I felt like I was talking to myself. But no. Victory was really good at following. All right. No problem. Thank you guys so much. Have a really great Sunday, and I will see you guys at the next, most likely May edition of the Naked Chats, and definitely before. A new podcast is coming out, and a couple of things within the next couple of days. So take care of yourself. Bye. Bye, everyone. Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. God bless you all.